Libra, you will not believe what I just did. I started recording the Libra episode and I was like, yes, Libra, December is feeling hot and spicy. And then I sat there and I realized that the whole time I was intended to speak to Libra, but I was speaking to Gemini because I'd just done the Gemini reading. So apologies about that because I really meant that energy for Libra. And so I've just spent a good 15 minutes recording when I didn't need to. However, Libra, you have come to the right place if you want to see what's in store for December of 2025 and how you are ending this year. Now, Libra, let me tell you, I'm feeling it. The energy that's building right now is a lot. And I feel like the spark is being relit. If you have gone through a season where you're just feeling, and you're just feeling not motivated, and you're just feeling slightly confused, and everything feels slightly mundane, just know that Libra, as we're coming into this new year, you're finding your spark back. What is really exciting to me as we're coming through the back end of November into the December period is that your spark is reigniting. And so you're going to find yourself feeling much more motivated and ready to put your intention into what is going to support you. Now, intentionality is one of the key words that's coming to the surface for me here at Libra. And I very much feel like it's a time of being intentional and focusing on one thing. Although you feel very much like there's so much going on and so much that I want to work on, it is a time of really focusing on one thing and making sure that the area of your life that you're focusing on is what is going to be most beneficial in the long run. I get the impression, Libra, that some of you have been focusing on motherhood when actually your finances need the requirement. Or some of you have been focusing on, finances when family need your attention. Whatever it may be, you're going to have to get really, really insightful right now as to what requires your attention in the long term. And Spirit is coming to the surface and saying that this isn't a time of ignoring your needs. I feel like ultimately, yes, we want to be the best parent, but if finances are requiring our attention, we can't be the best parent if we're not giving the attention to our finances. And so right now, there's some huge realizations as to where you've got distracted and where you've been trying to give to way too many areas of your life at once. You need to look at the intentionality of what is needed in your life. And I feel like there's some huge wake-up calls in regards to money and career and just where you're staying in these financial cycles because you're scared of giving too much, right? You're scared of being too much of a business owner or putting too much on career or who's going to help with childcare. There's all of this messiness that is going into the process. Now, regardless of whether you're a parent or not in the Libra, what we need to acknowledge is that you want more right now and you can have more, but you're going to have to look at what's a priority. There are going to have to be areas of your life that maybe you can't give as much to right now. And that's not something that you need to feel guilty about, because all guilt does is hold you back and stop you from creating this winning mentality. Sign are going to wanted to start a physical family because I'm seeing a lot of fertility. So some of you will want to start a physical family, and that's your confirmation if that's what you want to do, to focus your attention on that. And so maybe take a backward step with career and, money and everything else, focus on what it is that you want. But for those of you who don't want to start a family, the fertility is really linking with career and finances here. And so what I'm noticing is that you've been holding yourself back, and I feel like you've been holding yourself back because you feel like you can't give career everything that you want. However, it's time to get over that hurdle. You need to tunnel vision and you need to give your energy. It's like you don't even know what it is that you're capable of, and you are capable of way more than you give yourself permission. Way more than you give yourself permission to realize. And so I feel like this is a time of kind of awakening and saying, do you know what? I am capable of this. Let me go for it, because the back end of the year, the energy is so good. In fact, out of all the signs that I've read so far, the Libra energy is really shouting out to me, because I feel like there's this hot energy, there's this spark that's reigniting, and it's like the creativity and the clarity is returning. And so throughout December, you can expect to have this clarity on like what you want to do and how you want to do it. And it's really important that you don't stall the energy there, because as that's coming through, it's really easy for you to say, okay, I've got all this energy building, but also like, I don't know how to action it. And you do know how to action it, but it's about being very forward thinking and making sure that as the energy is coming through, it's like, boom, I'm taking action, I'm taking action, I'm taking action, I'm taking action. Now, something that just kind of came through from Spirit is not letting other people sidetrack you. There's a lot of energy around you in December. And so as you're stepping into this highly motivated season where you want to take action for the things that you want in this lifetime, you are going to find the energy around you is slightly distracting. So whether that be the kids getting poorly or somebody trying to hold you back or a family member saying something, you know, there's a lot going on energetically. But what you have to remember is like why you're doing this and what is important to you. And so this is your reminder to speed up those processing times. In the past, when something kind of came up, you allowed yourself to spiral and get off track. And this is not a time of spiraling or getting off track. You know, at the end of the day, there's always going to be something that materializes, but that shouldn't be the reason that you don't step into your communication of your future. At the end of the day, things come up. Okay, we're going to shift that. We're going to move forward. And so as things are materializing over the next couple of weeks, speed up your processing time and realize that you don't have to give it all of your attention. Okay, I get to deal with that, but now it's done. Okay, I get to deal with that, but now it's done. Whatever you need to deal with it. But then it's done. It doesn't need to be a big deal. It doesn't need to live in your energy. And so right now, speed up your processing time. Yes, there's tests. Yes, there's trials. We all go through them. There's things that could distract you if you allowed them to. But the reason why you are where you're at, Libra, is because you've allowed yourself to be distracted. There's been so much distraction that although you think you're being the best parent or you think you're being the best partner and you think you're being the best business owner, you've been trying to give to all areas of your life and all you are is distracted. Time management is huge for you right now, Libra. You need to make sure that you are kind of juggling your time and saying, right, this is my parenting time and this is that time and this is that time, because you're one person and you're spreading yourself way too thin and it's stopping you from being the energy that you need to be in this season of your life. And so time management is huge so that you can really start to tunnel vision and give each chapter of your life what it needs to be able to thrive. Now, as we're looking at the energy, Libra, you know, let that creativity spark you into new directions. You might find yourself wanting to steer track and change the way that you interact with certain things around you. Even in partnerships, you're going to find yourself wanting to soften and give a little bit more lust and passion into your partnerships. That is something that is huge because it's a realization that your energy matches the world around you. And so if you have felt sluggish in your relationships and you have felt disconnected in your career, remember the universe is matching you. And so we're noticing that your behavior is changing, which in turn is creating these huge energetic shifts in the physical world around you. And it's almost like nothing is physically changing, but your perspective is. And this is coming in really randomly and really suddenly, but that perspective change is huge, especially for closing the back end of this year, making sure that you're living in the best version of yourself. I hope you enjoyed your reading. Drop me a like and a subscribe and comment your breakthroughs down below. I want to know what's coming to the surface for you in December of 2025. And remember that my 2026 full year ahead readings are now open. I will drop the link to my Facebook group in the comment section so you can come and join us there and jump on board all of the fun.